Hello and welcome to another edition of Authority Marketing Live. I'm Melanie Hirschhorn, and I am so excited to be here today because I have a an amazing author, podcaster, just business mastermind. His mind is that of a master. His name is Frederick Dudek. I have had the pleasure of working with him. He has been my client, and I am so excited because you get to learn from the master the ways of creating business superfans. And I'm going to let him explain what that is, but I have a feeling you can pretty much figure it out. Hi, Frederick. How are you?
Oh, Melanie,
I'm
pleasure seeing you again.
so happy you're here. Hold up your book for everybody to see so they can see the magic that is
Okay.
business super fans. Now, for somebody who doesn't know what a business super fan is, can you please enlighten them?
It's really to keep it super simple, it's a brand advocate on steroids. So think of the best way I can explain it, and the idea came from is think of a sports team, and you've got the super fans that got their faces painted, they got the jerseys, the banners, and everything else. They're promoting the team. And, is the team paying them for that? Probably not. Actually, not even probably.
Not even.
And are they probably making money off the merchandise? Definitely, for sure. So the idea was, why can't a business owner transform their employees, their customers, their complementary businesses, their suppliers? So basically, the whole stakeholder or the whole ecosystem into super fans of that business and promoting that business. What would happen to the business? It would just explode in growth. And that's really what the whole business super fans idea is behind.
And what's so great about it is that it's totally doable.
Yes.
You're not creating these like esoteric strategies that people have to like go and get a college degree to figure out. I mean, it's all really easy to implement. It's just a question of doing it.
Yeah. It's the hot term right now is servant leadership is a big term that's out there, and this is really along those aspects, is really taking the time to recognize and appreciate your team, and it's everybody in the equation. It's not the mindset that I'm just giving you a job, because the mindset should be, I'm grateful to have these people on my team because they're the front lines, they're building the organization. You look at a guy by the name of Sir Richard Branson, which everybody knows. I mean, he's not out there making sure that everything is being done and et cetera. He's sometimes on his airplane serving people drinks and food and whatever. He's goofing off. He's on his ship,
It was a
doing the
private island,
same
right?
thing.
It
He's
was
not driving the ship. He's not, piloting the airplane. He's out having fun with everybody else because he's got other people. They're doing it, and he's empowered them. And that's a key word. He's empowered them to be able to make decisions and do what is right for his business.
How important then is fostering your community both internally and externally?
It's everything, really, because it starts internally. And you look at a disgruntled employee or someone that's not happy about their job because they feel they're underappreciated, they're underpaid, etc. That tonality and that energy is going to come across to a prospective customer, and they're not going to probably get the deal because that person's going to have that weird feeling. Whereas if you call somebody, and let's say, and it's an employee and he's enthusiastic or she's enthusiastic about the job and has, bubbly and excited, that's attractive. And that's where it all begins.
So you walk the walk and talk the talk. You have your own community that you have started. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, the community is just starting. So I've got about 40 people into the community right now, and it's just launching. but the intent is to help mentor people into one, being accountable, two, giving them ideas and things that they can do to start creating super fans from their employees, and then start transcending that into their customers and their complementary businesses. You think about like a supplier, and you're in a you have the suppliers supplying various different businesses, okay? But you're in a pinch, you need something quick. You reach out to your supplier, and you got a great relationship with them, and they're your super fan. So they're going to go, okay, we're going to take care of our buddy here and get that shipped to them right away. And this one can wait another day, as an example. So
Mhm.
those are just some little things. But one of my quotes in the book is, people will crawl through broken glass for appreciation and recognition.
Mm.
And it's, if you think about it, it's everything. Because sometimes it's not about the money that they make, it's about the environment that they're working in. It's about the lifestyle that they have at the company. My fiance, I mean, she's been with their company 6 years. They do all kinds of really cool things for their team. They have contests, they win door prizes, they win gift cards, they win a multitude of different things, and it keeps everybody going. And she's been there going on 7 years very shortly.
Wow.
So, they do it the right way.
Hmm. So anybody can go here to bizsuperfans.community to join your community.
Yep.
And what would you say is the top thing that an employer can do to keep their employees happy and make them into business superfans?
Take time to express gratitude.
And you want to give us ways to do that? You kind of mentioned with your soon-to-be better half, what she's getting, door prizes and things like that. What other ideas do you have for people?
It's just taking time to, have Employee Appreciation Day, edify a particular individual. One of my recent podcast guests read my book and applied a couple of the things, and she's with an organization called Be Outdoors Arizona and .org. And what she did was, she has volunteers that help because it's a nonprofit organization. Okay. And she used to get a lot of turnover in volunteers. So she applied a couple of techniques, which I talk about in the book, which was, recognizing somebody. And if you say thank you to an individual, okay, that's great. They feel good. But if you turn around and says, hey, I want to tell everybody here, I want to recognize Melody for the great work that she's done in coaching me on, working on my business book, whole different scenario. So what she did, she posted these people on social media sites, and this is my videographer and stuff like that. And she's got a videographer that helps her that's out of New York. I mean, the city, New York, and we're in Arizona. And she's been with her for a year, helping with all her video stuff,
Wow.
all for free, all because she got recognized.
Wow. That's really good food for thought. And since you mentioned your podcast, I thought we should talk about that. So you can check out Frederick's podcast here at businesssuperfanspodcast.com. And what kinds of juicy information can we get when we listen to your podcast?
Stories from different business owners, stories from different professionals. So I had an individual that teaches storytelling sales techniques coming on. So he talked about the power of storytelling in sales. I've had Chris Carlisle, which was NFL coach for the Seattle Seahawks. And he was a strength training coach, and talked about the whole aspect of the culture and the team. And we talked about how you have an individual that's mediocre on the team, or seems to be mediocre, but then it gets traded to another team, and all of a sudden they're a superstar. Well, what changed? Not the individual, it's the culture that they were in that changed. So they went to a different culture, and all of a sudden, poof, they're a superstar. Well, they were always a superstar. So those type of people. Some business owners. I just had a woman um, that's a health coach and talk about helping people get their health improved, and how in 6 years she's coached over 2,500 individuals, helping improve their health, lose weight, and everything else. And so she's got a team of super fans. So that's what you'll get out of the podcast.
That's awesome. So it's businesssuperfanspodcast.com. So we talked about sort of the internal, right? We talked about, making your employees happy and the culture of that. So what would you say are some of the best ways to grow your outside superfans? So the people that purchase from you, but also are so excited, people lining up to buy the Apple iPhone the night before it comes out. What are ways to do that? I'm sure as business owners, we all want that.
It's the customer experience. So the sale really becomes after the sale. Most people think the sale is, okay, I got the deal, it's done. No, the sale is actually everything that happens after they bought your service or product. How they're onboarded, the communications, the follow-up, the engagement, and if there's issues, how are they handled? Are they handled expeditiously, or is it so what kind of a mindset? No big deal. So for example, in the home improvement industry, I've coached several custom home builders and general contractors and remodelers. And thing I talked about is when you're going in to quote a particular project, let's say it's a kitchen remodel project. When you're done, take the time to say thank you for the opportunity. You didn't get the deal, but you differentiate yourself from everybody else because you're thanking them for the opportunity, and you look forward to working with them. So you also assume the close. So that makes you stand out. Then once you get the deal, you thank them again for selecting you. Okay. And now you outline what are the steps that are going to be happening? What can they expect over the next 90 days so they can plan their life? Okay. And then you should take pictures as an example as you're doing that whole process, because they probably didn't. And they're going to want to be able to show all their friends what it looked like and the whole process and everything else. And now you're also creating a story for them. And then once it's all done, you thank them for having the being working on their project. And then remind them a little bit later, like 30 days later, make sure they sent in all the warranty paperwork for any of the new appliances and such. And then stay in contact, because too often the work is done and the work is well done, but they never hear back from them. They're gone.
Right.
And to me, that's the goal. That's your existing customer base. That's how you transform them into super fans, to where they're telling everybody else. And, especially for example, when you're done with that project, ask them if you can, use your smartphone, and ask them if you can quickly take a little video testimonial. And that becomes your salesperson for the next project and the next prospective customer. You can just play all these videos. You don't have to say anything. They're doing all the selling.
You make it sound so easy. It is, but if you don't do it, nothing happens.
Correct.
And that's the same thing with marketing a book, right? If you have the book, that's great. But if you're not telling people about it, then nobody's
doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. So what would you say has been the best outcome for you for marketing your book?
When you and I got together and we went through the different aspects, and you gave me numerous different ideas of how to create content and start getting the content pushed out for the book, and multitude of other touch points that I need to be doing to build awareness for the book, because the book is just a vehicle. But and from the book, I've got the podcast now, creating the community, so to help people go to the next level. So those are some of the things that I didn't think of from a marketing perspective because that's not my world. So that's where you came in to help put some direction, digest the book, and you actually took the time to read the book. And so you actually gave me good ideas that were applicable to how to leverage the information in the book towards the outside market.
Well, I am so glad that you found that helpful. Sometimes it's really hard to see the label from inside the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people need you, and they need to understand how to create business superfans. So everybody go right here, frederickdudek.com. If you want to join Frederick's amazing community, it's bizsuperfans.community. And if you're out and about doing things and you have time to listen to a podcast, which I highly recommend because he's a great speaker and he brings on great guests, it's businesssuperfanspodcast.com. Thank you so much for joining us today, Frederick. It was so great to talk to you again and to get to share all about business superfans.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, Melanie, and I look forward to continuing the conversation down the road.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks everybody so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.